This is AirGunsNirvana with a final update on my CROSMAN Custom Shop 2400 KT. Now before I get into the details of the most recent modifications to this gun, I thought I'd touch briefly on everything I've done up until this point. Here at the front, I added a TKO muzzle brake. The CROSMAN 14.6 inch barrel, I recrowned it. I cut and modified a plastic barrel support from a 1377, added it. I added a Benjamin Discovery bolt and bolt handle. Here at the top I have a set of Leapers one-piece high rings. I added a 4x16x40 Centerpoint scope. I also added 1-inch NC Star scope adapter rings. These allow me to mount a scope cam to this. I'll be posting a video soon detailing that. I added a PowerMax Hi-pac setup, made a lanyard to keep the dust cap from becoming lost. I went to the auto parts store and got some sticky carbon fiber wrap and wrapped the Hi-pac as well as the tube. I made what I basically call a Franken valve. I took a Benjamin Discovery back half of the valve and mated a CO2 front half to it. I added a power adjuster. Even though I don't use it as a power adjuster, I use it just to be able to easily swap out hammer springs. And now we get into the most recent additions, which is I discovered on the Green Forum over the past several weeks somebody talking about how they had ordered directly from CROSMAN a trigger group for their target pistol that CROSMAN produces. It just so happens that this particular trigger group is also the same trigger group or grip frame from the Marauder pistol, and it incorporates what they call their drop sear system. And what that allows you to do is I now have the ability to put in a substantially heavier hammer spring and have a phenomenally easy trigger pull. So I was going to show what that looked like. If I can remove this side plate here without disturbing the internals. Alright, let's take a close look. So this piece right here is the drop sear. It falls down out of the way off of that lip right there when you pull the trigger. I also performed a Nirvana mod to this trigger by nipping this bit of metal there off. But after I did that, that bit of metal rubbed right here on the frame and kept this trigger from traveling too far forward. And normally you can barely make out, there's a little spring that sits behind this assembly, and normally it fits in between these two parts, the trigger and this part here. What I had to end up doing is using that little spring to hold those two pieces together, and that makes it all work properly. So after I did that, I had to add the same style hammer that comes in the target pistol, as well as the Benjamin Marauder, I do believe, is the same hammer. But since this is not a Marauder, or the target pistol, the breech screw is in the way. So I'll show you how I had to modify the hammer to get it to clear the breech screw. There's the heavy hammer spring. That's the end of the power adjuster for easily getting the spring out. Now slide the pin out of the hammer. This is the custom pin that I had to make to work inside that assembly there. The standard CROSMAN one wobbles back and forth too much and it'll bind the inside of the tube if you use too heavy a hammer spring. So this is the hammer that I ordered. As you can see, I had to grind that little bit of metal off there so that it will clear the breech screw inside there. The screw that's in the end of the hammer here is an additional part that I have to order. I'll be putting part numbers in the description, as well as the details of the performance that I've been able to achieve with all these different modifications. I hope you've enjoyed the information that was given. Please feel free to post questions and comments. I'll do my best to answer any question I can. Thank you and have a good day.